Samurai gets zapped into cyberspace. This is Spoilers. Very special episode of Spoilers today. We'll do our traditional opening question and introduce our guests. We'll go around the room super quick. What is your favorite cabinet arcade game of all time, or video game if you play those? So go ahead. We'll start with Stevie.
Hey there. Hey, this is Stevie recording from Elkhart, Indiana. Man, like old school arcade game, I'd say Galaga.
Classic.
Like I played that with my daughter this weekend up in northern Michigan, and it's just so addicting and so much fun. And yeah, I'd say Galaga.
Classic. Josh?
This is Josh from Goshen. As much as I'd want to say a Ninja Turtles game because of our guest, I will refrain from that. There's this raw thrills game called Jurassic Park, and you sit in a seat, it bumps around, and you shoot stuff. It's just very immersive, and it kind of reminded me of the movie in that way. So I'll go with Jurassic Park.
I'm right there with you. This is Pappy recording from Stevie's basement. I love the Jurassic Park cabinet games. It was the highlight of going to Chuck E. Cheese in my youth. Brett?
I'll be short and sweet. This is Brett from Elkhart. Mortal Kombat. I'd never seen anything like it when that first came out. It was insane. Or NBA Jam.
The blood, Brett. The blood.
Yeah.
And last but not least, special guest who we are insanely honored and lucky and blessed to have. You know him, especially from his upcoming film Going Viral, Corey Feldman. Not Corey, who's normally on the podcast, but Corey, do you have a favorite video game, arcade game?
I mean, I'm one of those people that I don't like to pick just one of anything. So I would probably never say like, this is the one, because there's so many. I can't do it with films. I can't do it with music. I can't do it with artists. I can't do it with songs. I can't do it with albums. I can't do it with anything. So I'm not really good at those lists. I'm good at, like, if you tell me what's your top 5, I can say, okay, in no particular order, here's my 5 favorites. But I would say that when it comes to the old school stuff, I liked so many. Galaga is definitely one of my favorites. By the way, what's your high score on Galaga? Just wondering.
My daughter and I made it to level 9. We were playing together.
His daughter's really small, Corey. Give him some credit. She's a babe.
Like 4.
Corey Feldman is jacking off at Stevie.
No, I'm sorry.
No, we made it to level 9. It was pretty cool.
What's your high score, Corey?
That's cool, man. That's really cool. Like 23.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
That's legit. Yeah.
Like level 23, 24, 25,
that's
something
really
like
good.
that. But yeah, no, I mean, like, I got really obsessed. I would play, because like if you're at like level 23, 24, your score is probably around 125,000, somewhere in that vein. So that's about where I'm at, somewhere between like 125 to 145,000. I'm pretty sure.
That's good.
You get to that point and you're like seeing Galaga in your sleep. You close your eyes.
Yeah. Oh no, I was very obsessed. And this wasn't in the 80s or 90s, folks. This was like when my kid was a little kid, So like I remember sitting there with his mom. We would have these like Galaga playoffs. But as a kid, I loved the Star Wars game. I loved sitting in the, and it was so simple, just some sticks and lines. But I loved going through the Death Star and that little thing, because you felt like you were really driving an X-Wing. And I also loved the Tron game.
Oh, yeah.
That's a classic.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun because, you had all the different games within one game. That was the first time in any video game that there was a concept of you could play multiple games within a game.
Is that the original Mario Party? Basically, almost that type of.
I don't remember that, but that was not in arcades. I'm talking arcade game where you could actually, put in a quarter, but you could play 4 different games. Nowadays, we have Grand Theft Auto, where you can go into a game and you can play a multitude of games, right?
Mini games,
yeah. Exactly. But they didn't have anything like that back in 1982. So Tron was very ahead of its time. And the fact that it became a movie, and the fact that our movie Going Viral happens to be loosely subjugated on such a movie. So there you go.
Exactly. And I was going to ask you,
maybe just the concept. It's the concept.
Yeah.
How did you become involved in Going Viral? Is it involved in this Kids in the Spotlight?
Listen, every time I put out a post, honey, I go viral. You know what I'm saying?
That's so true, man.
No,
you're the man.
No, I'm joking. They sent me the script. I liked it. It was it's a cute family film. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of times these days, I get asked to do a lot of different types of movies. I will only do something these days if either the character is a challenge for me, something that resonates with me, and something that's, challenging and going to be different for me, or as in the case with this movie, I just happen to like the simplistic nature of it because it is a high concept, small budget movie, which means that you're trying to achieve a lot with the little bit that you have. And I think they definitely put their money where their mouth was, and I think they did achieve a lot for their small budget. And even though it's not it's not the greatest movie ever made, it's not the biggest budget movie ever made, it's not the biggest production, but first of all, the trailer looks incredible. They did a really good job putting that trailer together. And, for what it is, the special effects they use, ironically, are really ahead of their time for the type of movie that it is. So, if you look at the period and you look at the place that we're in, the computer graphics are actually better than what they would have been at the time that the movie was set in. So in other words, if you look at it from that perspective, it actually looks like a decent budget movie. If you look at it in, the purview of today's movies and what we expect from them, it looks like it's low budget. So it's all about the perspective, but I think they hit the nail on the head with the vibe of the thing and the theme of it. And in the script, I think that came across, and what came across more than anything was, this is something that's relatable to kids, and it's relatable to people that are, kids your age that, lived through those younger experiences as a kid and went, hey, I remember when it was like this. And that gives you that kind of nostalgic feeling so that you can watch it with your kids.
I'm so thankful, though, I didn't have to deal with social media like the kids do in this one.
Right.
It's like,
I loved that. Pappy texted me last night and he said, one of the premises of this movie is that what if social media existed and what if influencers existed in the 80s? Is that one of the concepts that drew you to the script? I'm wondering.
Oh, can you hear us?
Okay.
I think he's going.
May have had a battery go out.
Yeah. Dave, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Take your time. We don't hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, back now. Sorry, my iPod's died after doing all these interviews today. So
Yeah, I bet.
Relatable.
talking via anti-iPod. But what was the last thing that was asked?
Yeah, we're just wondering if maybe the concept of what if social media and this idea of influencers existed in the 80s is one of the cooler conceits of this movie.
Right. If it did, this is what it would have looked like. Right. But I think that's kind of the fun of it, is the fact that, obviously we all know that this isn't how life was in the 80s because it didn't exist. But I think it's fun for kids who don't know and don't have that concept, because for them, they can look at it and relate to it and it still makes sense. Whereas if they watch an 80s movie, it's like, oh man, look how prehistoric, look how none of this fits with our times today. But if you watch this version of an 80s movie, which is like an alternate reality, then you can still find the commonality between today's commonplace of social media and what we deal with on a day-to-day basis and what the future looks like.
And there's this aspect of the movie where the kids get sucked into it, right? And I feel like kids today get sucked into social media quite a bit and some of the pitfalls there. Do you are you a YouTube guy? I was wondering, like a TikTok guy? What's your stance?
I have my own channel. I have my own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I also have my own Insta, platform.
But do you consume YouTube videos? Do you watch other people's YouTube videos or just create?
No. Yeah. I mean, and I don't really create either. I'm not like the guy that's here, hey, let's make another YouTube video. But I do have a channel for all of my, music videos and live performances and stuff that we, or stuff that I grab sometimes from the internet that I think looks cool that I'll post on my channel. Of me. I mean, generally, I don't put other stuff. I put my own stuff. But I do definitely, lead a lot of the trends when it comes to going viral. I'm probably viral more than most people. Not that I'm trying to be, but it turns out that way. Like on the Loserville tour, for example, I mean, I was probably viral like 10 or 15 times over the summer just from that one guitar solo, or just from, going out and doing Nirvana song with Fred Durst, or it was kind of like anything I did, it was like it turned into a big story and it went viral. So that I seem to have a knack for the social media game. So I mean, I guess it's helpful, the fact that I kind of was right on the edge of the turning of the tide, so I know how to utilize those tools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brett, did you have any questions from your end? Brett is not in the room with us.
Yeah, I have one question I was thinking about last night. It might sound cliche, but I just was kind of curious. When you do a movie, let's say, I think you're at your age right now, do you prepare for it differently, or do you approach it differently than you did when you were a teenager and you were getting going?
First of all, I got to put my dentures in, and then if my hip replacement is working okay, then I usually can make my way down from the old age home to figure out how they're reading scripts these days. You know,
I feel you.
Somebody got a tablet for me so I can try to read it. No, I mean, what does that mean? You know, you make movies, you make movies. You know the gig, you know the deal. So no, I don't think it's any different.
Makes sense.
Do you have any question you want to ask him?
Yeah,
Stevie?
hey, Corey, this is Stevie. I guess one of the questions I have for you, just kind of spanning your career, do you ever have a big surprise in your career where you were making a film and didn't realize how big it was going to be?
No, but I've gone the other direction where I was making a film that we expected to be big and it turned into a complete flop.
Oh, wow.
I've had that happen, which was, I guess, Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood. Yeah. That was a movie certainly all expected a lot more from. But, you know, it was done as a big budget movie. It was a Universal Studios movie. And, we expected it to be something. And then Dennis Miller, who was paid $1 million to do that job, decided to go on talk shows and tank it and talk about how the movie wasn't that great. So, you know, great. Thanks, buddy. Glad we all put in all the hard work so that you can tell everybody it's not that good. When actuality, it was actually a pretty fun film. And you know, better than a lot of the vampire movies that are out there. But anyway, so yes, there's one of those. Exactly. Yeah. But no. You know, I usually have a pretty good instinct for, you know, hey, this movie's going to be huge, or good luck. I don't think anybody's ever going to hear about this one. Mm-hmm. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After a certain point, you get that sixth sense about you of what's going to hit and what's going to not hit.
Yeah, exactly. And that came when I was about 10.
And you've had it ever since. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm celebrating my 50th year. Not that I don't know how it works since I'm only 22 years old, but I am celebrating my 50th year in entertainment this year. So I've got that going for me. Yeah, thanks.
You can be honest with us. How do you feel about doing interviews like this to promote things? Is it fun for you? Do you like getting to know people, or is it a job?
I hate it.
I don't blame you.
I would too.
Please just stop asking me questions. No, I'm joking. You know, it's an interview's an interview. I mean, you know, obviously things have changed through the years. I was just explaining this on the last podcast that I did a few minutes ago. But, you know, in the old days, we had talk shows. We had the big, you know, tentpole talk shows like, you know, The Tonight Show or David Letterman Show or whatever. And then we had the daytime talk shows, you know, which were few and far between. But, you know, it was like you had your 3 networks and eventually 5 networks. And that was it. There was no cable TV. There was no podcast. There was no internet. There was none of that. You know, you either did an interview with radio, you know, in which case you do a couple radio stations to testicular radio. I mean, terrestrial radio. And then you had that, or you had newspaper interviews, or you had a big talk show. And that was it. There was nothing in between. And you didn't even consider doing things like college radio. You didn't even consider doing things like, you know, college newspapers, because that stuff was beneath you. You know, if a publicist brought you, you know, your press sheet of what you were going to do to promote that film, and they said, oh, you're going to do 3 college stations, you would have looked at them like they were crazy. Whereas nowadays, hell yeah, you do those college stations. That's where the kids are. You go for the kids. What's wrong with you? Of course, you want to angle it directly towards them. So it's a perspective thing, too. A lot of people have become more aware of the fact that, hey, why would you limit yourself to this kind of, you know, it's got to be the top of the line or it's nothing and nothing matters. I don't think that we're in that space anymore. I think it's more about like, hey, if they've got a cool little vibe, if they've got something going for them, if they've got a lot of listeners, if they've got a lot of viewers, then they must be doing something right. So let's give it a shot. Yeah. I think it's a very different perspective.
Yeah, I feel like the kids who you co-star with aren't watching The Tonight Show anymore.
No,
right?
Not at all.
No.
And along those lines, Corey, like we're just a humble podcast from mostly northern Indiana. we just want to talk about movies and kind of get ourselves out there a little bit. You have the sixth sense. What's going to hit? What's not? What advice do you have for us as we go about this journey of like reviewing movies
Good
and
question.
trying to get like listeners and a following?
Get sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's my advice to you.
Amen,
Get
brother.
sponsors. The more sponsors you have, the more people will take you seriously, and the more money you have to get a budget so that you're sitting in something that looks like a studio other than somebody's apartment or an office.
We're in a basement.
Beautiful
We are
basement.
safe from
There you go.
tornadoes. Should one come
I mean,
through.
the good news is you can get away with it.
Yeah.
The bad news is it still doesn't look very professional. So it's kind of a matter of how far you want to take it. But the point is that you have the ability now. You have the opportunity. Look what Alex Jones did, for God's sakes. It started in his basement. It started in his garage, and now it's a multi-million-dollar thing. And I know a lot of guys like that. The X5 podcast, for example, who I'm friends with, or, a lot of these different podcasts that they're doing it out of their garage, or they're doing it out of their basement, or they're doing it out of their closet or whatever. So you can do it from anywhere. That's the beauty of it. Just like you can get online from anywhere and you can be successful at it. But if you want to be, if you really want to grow into a full scale production and you want to be taken really seriously, get the bigger opportunities with the bigger interviews and all that stuff, then you got to play the game. You still got to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, everything is about appearance. So don't forget that. If you want to be seen and taken seriously and get the bigger opportunities, you got to go with the bigger appearance. And that's just the way it goes. But that said, you can also live quite happily on the level of success you have. I refer you to the devil's advocate. Be careful what you wish for.
Mm-hmm. True. Very true. Do you recommend that, I know you're a dad. Would you want your kids to get into social media, like have their own TikTok account? Or are you like, no, stay off that shit until you're older?
Oh, my kid's got his own account, and I trust him to do what he does with it. But yeah, there was definitely a period when he was 12 years old that he was doing things that I was not aware of. And when I found out about it, I wasn't too happy, and we had to have a talk.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's pretty universal for dads.
I think
my daughter is 11, so that is ringing true and terrifyingly terrible.
Oh, yeah, especially with a daughter. Yeah. I would be monitoring that. Oh, man. It's a good thing I didn't have a daughter. That's all I could say. I would have been like, nope. Well, I'm not talking to them. Nope, that boy's not coming over. Nope.
We had a couple questions from our listeners. If you don't mind, I just run these by you real quick. Film Dylan wanted to know, what is your role that you're most proud of today? When you look back on 50 years, like you said, doesn't add up. You look like it couldn't possibly be true. But like when you look back on your career, what are you most proud of?
Well, that's because I'm going for the Donald Trump look now. If you can't beat him, join him. You gotta do it. I've got the best people around me. I've put an incredible team together. It's unbelievable. But anyway, no, I would say The Birthday. The Birthday is my favorite film, my favorite work. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to watch it yet, but it came out in theaters at the end of October, played through November at Alamo Drafthouse Theaters, which I don't believe there is one in Indiana, but they are throughout most of the Northwest and the center, the middle of our country. But they're rooted in Texas, so they're a southern kind of deal, but they kind of branch out, and they have about 50 locations now throughout the United States, all the way up to New York and all the way down to LA. And so we released that in theaters over October and November, and it is now on Amazon. So it actually hit Amazon, I think, about 2 weeks ago. So, that's my new thing. Every 2 weeks, I'm putting a movie out on Amazon. But yeah, so The Birthday is actually my favorite work. We shot it a long time ago. It took forever to actually make its way to theaters.
2004.
Thanks to Jordan Peele, who discovered it by coming and watching it over at my house and said, man, this movie needs to get out. It's a crime that your fans haven't had a chance to see this. So he helped me getting it out to the world. And, luckily because of him, we got a distribution deal and people are, New York Times gave it the top 5 pick of the month last month. Roger Ebert's website gave it 2 thumbs up. So, it got a lot of great reviews.
very proud of that work. I've been saying it for 20 years. I've been telling everybody, they say, what's your favorite movie? I'm like, you wouldn't know about it, but it's called The Birthday. Now I can say it's called The Birthday. Find out about it by going and watching it.
We'll cover it on this pod. If you want to come on, we'd love to have you back.
It's a great film. Let me tell you, it's a great film. And it also is set in the 80s, by the way, but in a much more naturalistic sort of way.
Okay.
And so but that's more on like the David Lynch high art, high concept type thing. It's a very different field than this. But this is, a throwback to the 80s, but in an alternate reality, in an alternate universe where we could imagine what it would be like if we had the power of viral videos and, social media at our fingertips in our childhood in those days. So that's the thing that makes this film intriguing and different, going viral. And by the way, Going Viral is out as of right now.
Check it
on
out.
Amazon and on Tubi and on Apple TV. So that's right. Go over to Amazon, go over to Apple TV, watch The Birthday, watch Going Viral, get caught up this Christmas on all your brand new Corey Feldman films.
Tubi, the greatest streaming service in the world. I'm a huge fan.
We love
of
it.
Tubi, by the way.
We really do.
Two more questions for me, super quick. I know we're at time. When I go over to Corey Feldman's house to watch a movie, are you putting on that high concept David Lynch, Bergman, Criterion Collection, or are we watching like an MCU movie, or what's the vibe if you watch movies for fun?
Depends on the day.
Yeah,
it depends on the day. I watch it all. I've got a projector room with a 3D converter. So,
nice.
If it's going to be like an MCU type movie, or if it's going to be Star Wars, or if it's going to be even some of my own films, I'll go back and watch with the 3D makeover.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very into the digitized 3D. I really love that. So any big sci-fi or big production fantasy adventure type movie, I'm generally going to try and watch in 3D. If it's more of a character piece, character study, something David Lynchy, I'm going to watch it, old school. But either way, I try to watch it in my theater room where we've got 5.1 surround sound and watch it on the big screen and, that sort of thing.
Love it. All right. Last question from me. We're so thankful to have you on Spoilers, Corey. This is from Shaddy Daddy. I'll read this, and bear with me. I'm not so good at reading out loud. Your work on The Lost Boys, The Tribe, and Lost Boys, The Thirst shows that you must really believe in the staying power of the Frog Brothers as characters. What is it about those characters that gives them that staying power for you?
Oh, well, you know what? Since we made the first film, I always thought this should be a series. This should be a franchise. This is, these are two characters that people can relate with, that you can put into any situation. They've got that versatility. They've got the comedic timing. They've got the, ability to kick ass and be action heroes. They've got that kind of smug, we're better than everybody kind of attitude. And they're, two good-looking, virile guys. I mean, why not, right? So you've got everything from the comedy to the action side of it. And I think they work. So I've always wanted to see more Frog Adventures, and we were able to do that both with those sequels and with the comic book series, which I helped to write. A lot of people don't realize, but I actually helped write Reign of Frogs with Hans Rudinoff, which came out around the 2009 era. And I would still love to see it. I mean, look, from my lips to God's ears, but I would love to see like a Cobra Kai style rejuvenation of the Frog Brothers in modern day, adventures. I mean, let's go all day, right? I mean, who wouldn't want to see that? Me and Jameson Newlander running around kicking vampires' ass and bringing back characters throughout the series with, cameos from the original cast and stuff like that. What a great concept. Why are we not making this yet? It's so obvious.
We're ready to podcast on it. Just put it out there. We're anytime.
Why don't you guys start petitioning Warner Brothers and then we'll make it happen?
I don't think Zaslav listens to anybody, let alone a little podcast like us. But
listen, let me tell you something. It takes a village, and it starts with one villager. Okay, no major change in life or in the world has ever happened because everybody got together at the same time and thought of it. Mm-hmm. It starts with one person, with one idea, with one concept, and a team of people who believe in it to support that one concept. So You never know. Anything is possible. Don't limit yourself to your dreams. Make your dreams your reality.
That's a beautiful note to end the podcast on, Corey.
This has been amazing.
And we're so lucky to have you. So thankful that you came on. Enjoy the movie once again, going viral on Tubi. Yeah, appreciate it, Corey. Thank you.
Corey.
Yeah, going viral is also on Amazon and Apple TV. There you go.
Check out 3. Yep.
Thanks. Nice to meet you, Corey. I'm a big fan. Love you and Turtles.
Yep. Take care.
God bless. Guys. Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
So that was fucking crazy.
That was awesome.
All right. Let's stay on right now. Brett, are you still there for a second?
Brett.
Okay. Brett's doing the jerking
Yeah, Stevie got jacked off.
I did. Like, dude, it's an arcade level.
Wait, no. Brett got jacked. Wait, Brett
Stevie got jacked
but
off.
Brett also got ripped
By
on.
Corey.
I got down.
I question, and Corey came in from the top rope. I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Question.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know what? He made it funny. It's okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was kind of like a cliche question, but I was kind of, you're 53 as opposed to when you're 15. I can't imagine. I could have said, how do you prepare for a movie by Todd Pringle, and how do you do one for Rob Reiner?
Yeah.
But I just thought that sounded kind of
It took
douchey.
everything in my power not to ask a Rob Reiner question.
I know. Yeah. Like, why did Rob Reiner ditch us and you showed up?
It took everything in my power not to ask about Rob Reiner.
I thought he looked good for the record, too. He had blonde hair.
Trump at all.
Yeah. He looked exactly like Trump. What do you mean?
He looks better with blonde hair.
He looks great with blonde hair.
Yeah. No, it's a good look for him for sure.
Brett, one time I called in to Colin Coward. I promise you this actually makes sense. And I got through to him, and they're like, you're going to ask your question in 30 seconds. And I was so fucking nervous. I asked him my question.
Did you say first time, long time?
I think I did, because I was listening to him a lot. And that was the first time I had called. I did. So I said that, and my voice was a little shaky because I was nervous. And I asked him my question, and he goes, well, obviously I can tell by your question that you haven't listened to a damn thing I've said. And they hung up on me and just let him rant on me.
I was pretty nervous. Yeah.
No, you did a good job, Pat.
No way he'll listen.
No, first of all,
just fine.
I want to
We should try again for the birthday, though.
We'll reach back out.
We're just a simple college radio show.
Yeah, in an unprofessional looking apartment. First of all, I'll have you know, Stevie owns this house, bitch.
That's a gorgeous looking house.
Yeah. The man pays his mortgage. I didn't know what to expect. So for our audience, this came about. The company that produced this contacted us, and I was super skeptical this was even going to get to this point, right? And it was a lot of back and forth. Yeah. Yeah. And they said, hey, we'll set up a Zoom. We watched the movie last night. Do we want to talk about the film anymore?
Yes. You know what? I'm going to be I didn't hate it as much as you guys did. So,
whoa.
There were things that I could pull from it. There are things I could pull from it that I like. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think we should totally talk about the movie. But, Pappy, I want to make sure that this recording with Corey Feldman recorded and maybe get a drink of water because I'm kind of on cloud 9, need to come back a little bit, collect myself.
Yeah.
And maybe we can talk.
That was a neat interview.
That was super cool.
Yeah, it was nice.
With these things, they always go, two different ways. Either there's never really a middle ground. It's always awful or hey, I'm great.
He made his pitch towards the movie, but honestly, besides that, at the very end and beginning, he was just honest with us about everything we asked him. That was awesome.
You could tell he's done these before. He did pretty well.
Probably his 9th podcast today.
His fucking AirPods died.
Yeah.
That was the interview.
Damn.
There was one point where he was like looking at his AirPods and we're all looking at each other like all nervous and everything. But
all right, I'm serious. This is a little bit unorthodox, but maybe let's toss it over to Spoilerman for a second.
Great idea.
And Brett will connect with you in about 5 minutes.
Sounds perfect.
Oh, you want to get on Skype?
Stay on here. We'll just wait for a second.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. I'm gonna go pee and everything. All right. Thanks.
Take it away, Spoilerman.
Special thank you to our patrons: Matt Troll, Brother Brian, Druid King, Nick, The Meg, Nurse Stacy, The Wolf, Barky 420, PK, Tay, Spencer, Gale, Swole, Cheese Zombie, Sebastian, Dr. Lars, Stone Cold Austin, Nephew Quinn, Best Friend Drew, Shatty Daddy, Jimmy the Cricket, Optimus E, the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, Dergs. Our email is podcastspoilers@gmail.com. If you'd like to request an episode, hear your name read by Spoilerman, or even just help us make podcasts, please check us out on patreon.com/spoilerspodcast.
This is Spoiler.
And we're back. So we just decompressed from the Corey Feldman interview. We were all thinking that went pretty well. I was a little nervous not to talk to him, but just not knowing what his attitude would be towards us, right?
Yeah.
And like how much he would want to talk about the movie versus us being free to ask questions.
I'll say this. I got to telling you guys, we're probably his 9th interview today.
Oh, yeah.
Some people, over time, I've realized interviews can be kind of grumpy when they're getting towards the end of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was really nice.
He was
didn't
super
have to
nice.
Be, but he was
Yeah.
really nice.
He gave us real advice, like Josh was saying.
That was pretty cool.
Get fucking sponsors.
He said,
Martin Supermarkets. He just stopped short of saying them by name. But
Yeah. So I think I was talking before the break on how all this came to be. We've been approached many, many, many times to review indie movies like this. A lot of them feel like cold call marketing, spam
Not
emails,
real.
just wanting someone to bite on it. So I thought that's where we would be. I would say in the pantheon of those kind of movies that we've done, and Corey said it himself, Going Viral is not the greatest movie ever made.
I appreciated him saying that. I mean, it's obvious. Like, sometimes actors get on an interview and they just act like whatever the latest movie they did is the greatest movie of all time. So I guess that was like one of the first little inklings, like, oh, he's being kind of real with us.
Yeah. We got Grant on the podcast.
It's all right. It's all right, Grant.
Yeah, it's pretty adorable.
Sorry,
Grant's
guys,
holding his son while he pods. It's the cutest thing you've ever seen.
yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'll try to take him somewhere else.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I kind of like it.
Brett, just ride the mute button. Do the best you can.
Yeah.
We got you.
Be real.
Me,
Brett.
you, and us and Grant.
Yeah. So,
You guys never knew this, but the original, what's that horror movie we did with the pranks?
The Collector. Yeah.
First collector
Collector.
I ever did, I was holding Olivia when she was a baby.
Oh, that's like one of my favorite pods.
You guys never knew.
You were what?
Holding Olivia.
My daughter, the entire time.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Going Viral, in the pantheon of those movies, you can hear everything. It feels like a professional movie.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't recommend it. I'll jump ahead to my yes or no. It's a little awkward dialogue. It's a little
Like, it's a
all over the
stilted
place.
movie. It's
Yeah,
kinda what you're
I felt like the dialogue and acting got a little better. I said pretty early on that I thought the best friend was like acting circles around everyone else. Now,
Dude,
whether
yes, that kid. I know
And-
what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, and like it almost seemed like he didn't belong in the movie because he was. Now the main guy got a little better and they fed off each other, but I was like, this friend is an actual actor.
Mm-hmm.
He was being goofy and he wasn't getting a lot in return, but I thought he was vibing pretty well. And I thought the main guy got a little better, but yeah, I mean, the acting wasn't very strong, especially at the next level, like not main characters, but
Tertiary characters.
Yeah. And
yeah, tertiary for sure.
let's talk a little bit about the plot. Stevie, do you want to, at a very high level, I know we touched on it briefly. Like
Well,
what,
that actor he's just referring to is Matt Aaliyah.
real actor. Yeah.
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 I just wanted to shout his
I'm-
name out there because, like, I get the feeling a lot of these actors, this is maybe their like first or second thing they've ever
I think it's
done.
the second thing he's ever done.
If I could buy stock in one actor, including Corey Feldman from this film, it would be this Matt guy. Like, I would buy low, sell high on him. He seems like he could go places. He kind of looks like what's his name from Wicked, who cheated on his wife with Ariana Grande?
SpongeBob?
Yeah, he looks like SpongeBob.
You have to say it.
Yeah. Stevie, going viral, just really quick for the audience. None of them have seen it.
Can I just hit on two things real quick?
Yeah, please.
Kind of what bouncing off what Brett said. I would not be shocked if the best friend in the lead ever ended up doing something of actual importance in acting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the lead's, like, I'm not gonna lie, he's a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
Like, I was like...
No, he's ugly. He has a part in glasses.
And slick back hair.
In the first third of the movie,
he looks
he's
like a
ugly,
fucking Hollister model. Like, yeah, he's just like,
he
he's
looks
tall.
like a Hollister model.
Yeah,
let's be real.
Yeah.
Like, if I ever see him in something, I'll be like, yeah, he's a good-looking cat.
Mm-hmm.
The best friend, he can act.
Yeah.
That dude's probably going to be in something someday.
I agree. Yeah.
I don't know if it's doing CBS sitcoms or something on HBO, but he'll be doing something.
Mm-hmm.
On a very basic level, what this movie is about is... We kind of talked about it on the pod. What if influencers existed in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
And then also, you know, all these kids are like trying to get the most limelight and most likes and most views on a very rudimentary level. I mean, the movie starts off with Lego Boy, for crying out loud.
Right.
He gets sucked into a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And
who is supposed to be Corey Feldman? Right? Like that's
escaped.
Right.
Very
right.
clearly Corey Feldman.
Yeah. He's got the
Like,
same birth
they casted
year.
the right kid.
Yeah, it looks like Corey Feldman.
It looks like Corey Feldman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But what happens is the computer virus, like he kind of mentioned, like Tron, that's sucking these kids in, learns how to escape from that world into the actual physical world.
A little bit of AI gone too far in this, which is definitely like a 2020s idea inserted into the 80s, which, like, that's one of the things I think Corey Feldman was talking about earlier is, like, you wouldn't get a movie like this in the 80s because they do talk about social media and AI. So maybe, like, Pappy...
The music was spot on.
Like,
Yeah.
for some of the inconsistencies, maybe, like, I do think there is a kernel of some, like, pretty cool concepts happening here that I've not seen.
Mm-hmm. When I told Stevie about it, he was like, "Ooh, that sounds cool."
It reminded me of It Follows.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With the technology.
Yeah, where it's like kind of, it could be
This
from
could be
any
based
time.
anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. There's a little bit too of like the classic high school setup of like, you hit on this, that he's a nerd, he's bullied,
Yeah.
he's going to become popular by
But
getting
the
viral.
best friend who's all aboard, but you know gets kind of dissed one night, and he, you know, you got the best friend who loves the main guy. Yeah, there were so many tropes to hit on.
Mm-hmm.
There was a ski race that was put in skateboard. There was a ski race. I'm not gonna lie. So I mean,
race
we all know how this works.
Mhm.
There was a ski race from the top of the mountain to the bottom. Winner gets, you know, the dad's car dealership
Yeah.
in a skate bowl.
Yeah.
In an open bowl.
Mhm.
Like that's what happened. But I appreciated it.
But it's like the movie's not presenting that as like serious and earnest. It is being kind of silly and tongue in cheek, right? Like this is like, hey, we're doing an 80s montage as a tip of the hat.
Take it to the limit.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And I appreciated that.
There's at one point in the movie where they ask, like, oh, what phone number do you have to call, or what's your password? And they're like 8675309.
Yeah.
Which
and
is,
Corey Feldman was like, really? Okay.
yeah, what do you say? Corny, but kind of cool.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what that song is.
Tommy Two-Tone.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's like a Mr. Viral guy who is the big bad.
Also, does
Max
time
Headroom
run faster in the program than reality? 'Cause
I-
Corey Feldman aged 45 years
between the two.
between him getting something computer and like a few years later. I mean,
I don't understand.
didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. I didn't get that vibe at all. By the way, that's supposed to be Lego Boy.
yeah.
What do you
It's
mean?
gotta be Lego Boy.
It
It's
is
like,
Lego Boy.
But
The kid from the intro.
Lego Boys in Tron and
Well,
Samurai's
that's right. So
not.
it's, it wouldn't be Lego Boy.
so who's Samurai?
Just a dude who was.
He's like a legend that he escaped, I guess. Yeah.
Also, bold move to name the hottest gamer in the world Samurai when our world has Ninja.
Oh, that's a
True.
direct
Oh,
reference.
you know what? I
Yeah,
didn't
for
even
sure.
pick that up.
Yeah. Bold
They
move.
were enemies, though.
Mhm.
Tyler Blevins is a man known as Ninja. He has his hair
From.
dyed usually like pink or blue.
He lives in what, Parkwood, Illinois?
They're from the Chicago area.
Yeah.
The Blevins. Yeah. Jonathan Blevins, my previous work, we did like a piece with him, so I kind of know their family
I
a
listened
little
to
tiny bit.
Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
But like, Pappy, that's one of the first things you said to me. Beyond saying that, like, oh, if social media existed in the 80s, you were like, if Ninja was in the 80s. And you asked Corey Feldman this question earlier, like, what YouTube influencers do you consume? And his answer was like, none.
That was me just throwing out a line. But then later when he said Alex Jones, I'm like, whoop, we got a nibble. We got a nibble.
That was just an example of a humble podcaster.
Yeah, coming from,
That's just a humble podcaster from Northern Indiana, Alex Jones. But do you have any, like, who are your influencers on, like, your YouTube radar? Like, when you see a movie like this that is, like, referencing, here are the influencers, like, who do you think they are referencing outside of Ninja? Like, where does your mind wander?
I feel like I'm totally detached from, like, who are the high school people watching. Like, I'll see a name. It'll be the first time I see the name, and I'll go to their YouTube channel, and they have 6 million followers. I'm like, what the hell? They're like a fucking multi-millionaire. I've never heard of this person before in my life. I mean, like, I like this kind of shit, right? So, like, Alt Shift X or, like, sports people. Like, I like all of that kind of stuff. I like very topic-based YouTubers, hence, like, me creating a podcast with you guys about a specific topic. I mean, like, the fucking Mr. What's his name? Beast?
You like Mr. Beast?
Hell no, dude. I was gonna say that's the kind of shit I
Mr. Evil
avoid.
Beast.
Yeah, like, I don't watch any.
There's
of
something
that.
there.
Something's very off.
Something's very off there.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
it just seems sinister. I don't know, but yeah, I if I looked at my thing, it would probably be like a little bit of Alt Shift X.
It's got like Ellen vibes.
Yeah.
You are obsessed with Ellen.
Me?
Yeah, you've been talking about Ellen
Josh does love tyrants and villains.
Sorry.
Can we? I just to get back to the movie. I know we've been, like, glazing it and trying to find our spots. It's a bad movie, you guys. Like, I don't want to beat around the bush. I don't want to lie to you, the audience. Like, they can give us Corey Feldman. I love it, but, like, it's not.
Can I say this?
It's not a good movie. Yeah.
Like, I have such a low bar for movies like this. That
Same.
Yeah.
My bar is always low.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when it comes to stuff like this, camera movement is a big deal to me, no matter the budget.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a still camera and people talking, I don't want to continue.
The problem is not only is it a still camera, but
No. There's camera movement throughout the entire movie.
I
was picking up on it the entire time.
You think so?
There's dollies. Yes. There's actual real camera movement in the movie.
See, my thing for every scene is, like, you said this before, Stevie. It gets there early and leaves late. We would see the setup. We would see someone walk into the scene, greet the other person. The scene would happen, and we would see them leave the scene, and then it would come.
Always arrive late and leave early.
Yeah,
Always.
It's like we're getting the entire conversation plus 5 seconds on either end for every scene to limp to an 80-minute runtime. It's like, oh.
It does do that to its detriment, and it's hard. But, like, I don't know if they shot it in, like, in sequential order. But, like, by the end of the movie, I was like, okay, they're actually using dollies. They're actually using, like, pans. Like, okay, they're doing elevated. They're dropping. Like, the camera is moving.
Yeah.
It's all I could really say at this point is, like, how low is my bar going to go? The camera is moving. It felt like a real movie.
A thing. Yeah.
It's a real thing that my eyes catch real fast.
Yeah.
Like, faith-based movies don't have moving cameras. I look for it hard.
Dude.
They don't. I watch a lot of faith-based movies. Their cameras don't move. Like, it's shoulder level the entire time.
I think also, if we're levying critiques at this moment, the writing is a major issue. That's kind of why you're always arriving early and leaving late.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, on the flip side of this, like, usually you just think, like, writing bad. But there were some kind of original conceits.
Sure.
And, like, a little bit of a theme that got me thinking a little bit. So, like, that makes it a lot harder to trash because there's, like, some bones to this movie, I guess is what I'm saying. And we don't see all the flesh on screen that I'd like to, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something here. And I like what you guys are talking about, like, these actors moving on into the future and, like, the writers and directors of this film. Like, this is maybe, like, kind of a stepping stone for a lot of them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we got to interview Corey Feldman out of it. That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So,
and color, great in this movie.
Yeah,
I like
That's
that.
another thing in indie films that will like come to the forefront is like, ooh, this is washed out, or like this doesn't match, or it's overexposed like crazy. Like this is legit. I think from
dark
beginning
forest.
to end, it's pretty
Mhm.
tight.
Audience, I'll have you know, I'm the only one with the balls to criticize this movie. I say like one bad thing. Like,
no, there's
why don't
plenty
you
of
say three
criticism.
nice things about it? Let's. Listen, you can give me Corey Feldman. I love Corey Feldman now. I'm a big fan, but that doesn't make this movie good. Like it's just not.
I mean, it's better than Evil Dead 2, but
Oh my god. I don't know, Brett. Give me a thought on the movie, the characters, anything. Where are you coming at with this?
I'm with you. Like I'm with Stevie though. Like I grade movies differently. I don't think it was a good movie, but it doesn't mean that I didn't like it. Like I won't watch it again, but I enjoyed it. I thought the third act was like somewhat strong. The first act was kind of bad. Like the acting was really bad, but I feel like everything got better. I mean, again, it's hard to.
That's a couple of us have said that
worse.
now. It's almost like they shot this in sequential order,
Yeah.
and you could tell they were getting like more
Better.
reps in by the end.
There is something. I don't know if I would say Corey Feldman's good in this movie, but I feel like the film was
Changes.
elevated as
It
soon as he
changes.
was
Picks
on
up, yeah.
set.
It
Yeah,
changes.
I don't know if that was like everyone's like Corey Feldman.
I actually really like I don't know if they did this because it's like a fad nowadays to either do it or to make fun of. But did you guys watch to the very, very end?
Yeah,
There's a post-credit
scene where he's like, "Get out of here,
Yeah.
go home." It's like, well, do you think I'm in the
I thought that was
theaters?
kind of fun.
Go ahead. Sorry, what was that, Brett?
No, it's like it's kind of like exactly what Deadpool does, right? At the very
Mhm.
end of the first Deadpool,
Mm-hmm.
it's over, go home. But I don't know, it had enough nostalgia. It's hard to say nostalgia because Josh and I obviously we lived in the '80s, but there's not a lot of the '80s I remember.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Josh does either. So
Because I'll say this, like, I don't always sound like mean, but like, the first act of this movie's rough.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's
a rough laydown, and like, it's almost like there was an adjustment through filming. Here's what's working. Here's what's not. Here's what's working. Here's what's not.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell by the third act it kind of fixed itself.
Yeah, and you don't have to wait long. It's like an 80-minute movie. So if you can,
Just those first 20 minutes are rough.
if you can grind it through those first 20 minutes, it's not horrible once you get to that.
You
point.
you gotta grind it. You don't want to nag yourself like he does on that rail. He tries to rip a nar, and he balls himself instead.
Mhm.
That's the lingo, right? Nar.
I think so.
No.
I don't know. You guys have any other final thoughts? I mean,
Nah.
I think one thing that's missing here, Pappy, is like, what do you think like happens in this movie? Like, what's the lesson learned for the main character? If someone just, I always feel bad if there's a spoilers episode and someone listened to it and they're like, I don't really know what happened in the movie.
mhm.
I feel like we got to spoil the movie a little bit. So like,
It's an ugly duckling movie.
Yeah. With
Like it's an ugly duckling movie. It's what it is.
with
It's the she's all that in the computers.
Right.
with a
It's like Angus or she's all that.
Angus.
but with a male main character,
yeah.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
as soon as he
Angus.
gets the help from this AI,
Ditches friends.
Mr. Viral,
Mhm.
he starts getting hotter. His view count starts going up. He gets more followers.
And there's obviously
he
no
doesn't need
iPhones.
glasses.
Yeah, they're watching it on like basically like a Game Boy, right? Which is
Game
like
Boy
how they're
Color.
Game Boy Color with limited internet. Something like that. And then, like, that's pretty much the first act. The second act is him.
What?
The second act of the movie is him getting hotter.
First of all, don't look at me like that when your microphone became disconnected during the interview and you tried to reattach it
I
while we're
was-
talking to
I
Corey
was
Feldman.
waving
Waving
you,
me
I'm just
down. I thought you were waving me
Josh
down
is trying
or
to
something.
fix his microphone on air with Corey
Yeah,
Feldman.
during that
My
interview,
eyes were piercing his soul.
I was like, what are you doing?
the audio will be edited in post, so I'm sure you won't notice, listener. But yes, my microphone came undone, made me even more
My
nervous.
girlfriend called me. I apologize.
It's okay. The second act of the movie is like the ugly duckling becoming hot, getting used to it, thinking it's cool, and like this coming down action of like, is going
moment where he's
viral
with the
worth
hot,
it.
popular girl, and like the love interest he should be with, feels isolated because he's got the cool friends now.
It's like a Disney Channel original movie.
One of those type movies.
Definitely.
So what's that last third of the movie? Just to completely
Destroying
round
everything
out.
to go back to normal.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
I need stasis again. Is pretty much what happened.
I want to return to the point from where I started. I didn't realize how good I
But I
had it.
changed along the way. I no longer yearn for that.
Yes, I learned what's important, and it's not important to be going viral.
Mr. Viral is destroyed. Corey Feldman's character can stop acting like he's dead.
Yeah,
Corey Feldman's character has faked his death in this movie.
Double agent.
Yeah, he loves it. Yeah,
Yeah, but now he's really dead now.
he did get zapped.
But if you die in the Matrix in this movie, do you die in real life? I'm not sure.
I think he's just the new Mr. Viral.
Oh,
That's
the
part
sequel.
2.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The thing is, I thought like the lasso looked really cool, and then like you see the slug, and it looks really bad.
yeah. There's like in the Matrix, there's all these bugs, right? That's what you're talking about, like giant bugs. There's a bit of a who's on first scene where they're like second right, third door, left right, left right, and he's like, right left, right left. No.
There's a little bit of cool moment where they have a friend on the outside. She's like looking at a computer. It's like an avatar of what they're doing, but the avatar of what they're doing is like basic computer, like Nintendo Entertainment.
Super Nintendo, yeah.
Or even
sure.
less than that. Like, it's just very basic
8-bit.
graphics. That was actually a cool touch that I could see another movie.
With the bugs in there, like, that was really cool. Like, you could actually see the bugs behind the doors.
So, yeah. A little, like, 8-bit avatar of the main character and his buddy walking through this Zelda level. It was just kind of cool.
I did. I really liked that. Yeah. Any final thoughts? Do you think it's sufficiently spoiled? Like, there's not... It's an 80-minute movie. We described like
I have
the
a question
basic.
for you guys. What's the 80s movie you guys jam on?
Purple Rain.
Just
Ghostbusters?
Definitely Purple Rain.
I still have to see Purple Rain.
What?
Ghostbusters. You weren't on the pod?
No. I listened to the pod.
Good.
That's such a weird one for me.
Why don't you purify yourselves in the lake?
You know
Water's
what?
a lake,
When someone
Minnetonka.
says 80s movies now, and I've only seen it the one time, Stevie requested this for us. We reviewed it way back in the day.
Sudden Death?
Peak Modine?
Yes, Peak Modine.
Vision Quest?
Vision Quest is honestly, of all the
Brittany,
80s, that is like, I
oh
think,
my gosh.
could there be a more quintessential 80s movie than Vision Quest?
Brittany brings that movie up, so she
need.
hates it so much.
Feldman and Modine had to run some circles together.
Dude, if we
Talk
just
about Vision
text
Quest.
Modine and say, hey, Feldman was on, are you too good
Hey.
for us or something?
Modine, we have so many sponsors, dude. We're recording in a professional studio.
Dude.
By the time you listen to this, Martin's, Meijer, and Walmart all sponsoring us.
You want to be on this pod, don't you? You want a new peak.
Dude, that is like a quintessential 80s movie.
Yeah, Brittany hated that movie so bad. She still brings it up.
It's even just something about like the lighting and feel of that movie, if nothing else. Like it just
Well, the ending's
Lunatic
amazing with the
Fringe,
song
though,
Lunatic
is like,
Fringe.
oh.
Yeah.
And I think we
Lunatic
broke.
Fringe.
We
go
broke.
back and listen to that
that's
spoiler.
That's
Watch
a
that
modern
movie.
beat that they did in that's a modern beat they did in the 80s.
Mhm.
Like when they broke out Lunatic Fringe, wasn't a very common thing for those films.
I might
That's
watch
a-
that tonight.
That's a very, very modern thing they did in that movie.
And we broke new ground with the training montage matching Mulan shot for shot. I still have never seen anybody else point that out. I feel like we discovered that it's a shot for shot of Mulan montage.
It is.
Any other final thoughts, though? Anything you wanted to?
You know, that's how we're actually going to go big. It's not the sponsors. It's these
That
little.
was going to be my movie.
It's these little hidden nuggets that we drop along the way.
We're the citation in the IMDb fact.
According to spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm good on final thoughts.
5 people like this. The only thing I would say would be
I had more fun talking to Corey than I did watching the movie.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
I'm glad I watched the movie so I got to talk to Corey. It was cool.
Yeah, and before we do a quick yes or no, I'm very grateful for Corey to be on, to not be an asshole, to engage in our questions, to not feel like he could only talk about this movie. Like, it was a very fine line, and we had a lot of behind the scenes of like, what do we want to be talking
I was
about?
trying to get him on for the birthday. I'm curious.
Like
about
even
this
when
movie.
I sent you some of the reviews. I don't know if you saw that.
For the birthday?
Yeah, check our thread. But
Was it good or bad?
Long John.
That was also
he answered every question we asked him. I mean,
that was a
pretty cool.
lie, right? Like, the birthday is not the thing he's most proud of from his career, right? Like, can that be? I mean, maybe.
I mean, have you seen Stand By Me? He's pretty freaking awesome in Stand By Me.
He's been in like
It took
legit
everything in my power
classics.
to ask him about Rob Reiner.
Yeah.
Everything in my power just to be like,
Hey, guy. Yeah. Brett, you have any final thoughts? I just want to make sure you're good on.
Nope, I'm good.
Going viral. All right, let's wrap this up. I'll go first. Pappy, Stevie's Basement. Hard no for going viral, but this is like one of the coolest, weirdest things we've ever done. Like I was telling Stevie, like, when I die and Spoilers is done, or like whatever happens with Spoilers at some point, like this will be one of like the highlights of it, like for me forever. It'll be like some of the trivia nights with Josh. It'll be like Corey flying out, like getting to meet him.
the collector episode.
The collector episodes, both of them I think are really good. And probably this is like a top moment ever for Spoilers for me. And it was like a bit surreal, and like, I just am so lucky to be able to do this with you guys. It was so cool. It's like a fun fucking story I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
Pappy getting a little bit real.
But yeah, I mean, he got real at the end. Like his advice to us was very, very real and felt heartfelt. But I mean, yeah, this movie's a huge piece of shit. I gained a lot of respect for Corey Feldman for doing this and being out there and promoting it the way he is. But yeah, wild times over his Spoilers. Stevie, go ahead.
This is going to be a really strange answer, but it's going to be a soft no. The simple fact that I think a bigger movie will be made on top of this.
Oh.
That's my feeling of it. Or, like, one or two of these characters in the movie is going to go big at some point in their career. They just are.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a great scouting report or something.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing the recruits before they get to the D1 level or something like that.
You're seeing them sophomore. You're like, by the time they're a senior, they're going to be getting the Alabama offers. No, this
Some
is
sort of SEC level.
Yeah, something. Maybe Vanderbilt. No, this is. I didn't want to kiss Corey's ass. This is really weird, but like I kind of wanted to tell him so badly. It's like my parents let me watch any movie that was just on when I was growing up, and like when I was like 4 or 5 watching Stand By Me, I never thought I'm going to talk to that dude one day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird. Even like 5 years ago when I watched Stand By Me again, or same with the Goonies, it's just kind of, or Lost Boys, same thing. It's kind of a weird thing to think about, like when you're watching these films, like I'm going to talk to the dude that one day about a movie he's like doing currently. It's just like a weird feeling. So that was really cool. Talking to Corey was really cool. I'm happy, like I said, got to watch this movie so we could talk to Corey. And he gave great advice.
We did. If you want to sponsor us, please.
Yeah, I think, we'll probably wait for the emails. They'll start coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, soft no. But I would not be shocked if a bigger movie with the exact same concept, with a bigger budget, is made on top of this. Would not be shocked at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
I agree. Let's go Josh next. Josh.
Yeah. Just honestly, this movie fits into the no category. And I hope people are seeing that, like, yeah, we can have Corey Feldman on our fucking podcast, but we'll still be like, give you the honest shit about the movie and how we actually think. Like, this movie isn't really like up to snuff. Like, if you got one movie to watch on a weekend, you're looking forward to the time, like, probably don't take it. But this movie does have some things that I like. It's the only movie that said the word turd burglar that I can ever remember. And I think it deserves major points for that. And I don't know. There are some vibe things that bleed through. On a more serious note, like as an indie movie, this does a lot of the basics really well. And I think it deserves kudos for that. A lot of these people are going to go on to keep making more movies, better movies, more and more movies, some worse, some better. And I think that's really exciting. We kind of got in on a bottom level with a lot of these people, and it's fun to see that, like we were just talking about. And I also agree with you, Stevie. I think his biggest thing for me, Corey Feldman, is he was the voice of Donatello in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And Pappy doesn't get that shit, but that's like canon for that's like gospel for me, basically, of my childhood. It's like he is Donatello, and I don't know, to see him come through in like a real, truthful, kind.
I do want to ask him
way.
what's
It was
harder,
cool.
Voice acting or acting on screen. Like, because he does a lot of voice acting.
Yeah,
I gotta imagine with those animatronic turtles, nothing was easy in that movie. That 1990
Hard.
movie. I think that's about it. I'm just looking over my notes here. We reviewed a movie recently called I Saw the TV Glow, which also hits on like kind of similar vibes. I think maybe just it's kind of an interesting exercise maybe to watch them back to back. But anyway, Josh from Goshen here. Soft no, little no, regular no, but still a thankful no.
A thankful no. So say we all, but
Thankful holiday, Christmas cheer. No, this is a Christmas pod right now, right?
I would love if the Corey Feldman interview came out on Christmas Day. That would just be
What a
so
present.
funny.
That'd be a really good present, actually.
Yeah. Brett?
Yeah, sorry, this is got a lot going on. My computer was dying. Yeah, I won't be that guy. I'll give it a soft no. I enjoyed it. I hate that it's spoiled because it was at least enjoyable seeing some of that stuff. But I'm with Josh. Like he said it perfectly with me about he is Donatello for me. Donatello always will be. Like when I think of him, I think of that movie. So it was really cool
Crazy,
getting to
Brett.
talk to him.
It's not even his face.
I know, but
It's insane, but I'm with you.
War crying? Yeah, I mean, it was such a. But yeah, I'll just go with a soft no, and I'm really glad they reached out. It was so cool, such a surreal experience that I'll remember forever. So, thank you. Yeah, just thanks.
If you're a hardcore spoilers fan, you should go watch this movie and hear what we're talking about. And
I totally agree,
I would
especially
still
since
say
it's on
watch
Tubi. I would say watch it too.
It's an 80-minute movie.
I wouldn't say watch it. You
if you're a fan of spoilers and Corey Feldman showed up on our podcast, support the movie. Check it out on Tubi.
It's better than Los Enchiladas.
It's better than dozens of movies we've done on spoilers.
True.
Like, what's that movie with Matt Damon and Adam Driver?
The Duel?
It's better than that.
Yeah, but did it have a R asterisk? Yeah, PE on it.
I think I was more interested in watching this movie than The Duel.
Shame on all
Yeah,
of you.
that was a tough
Shame on all
watch.
of you for giving you guys a yes, giving that movie a yes, by the way.
I think The Duel is a way better movie than this. I don't know what the hell we're talking
It's
about.
3 hours longer.
I don't know if that's what it's called.
The Duel is? The Last
Duel.
The Last Duel.
That was a shit movie.
Well, it's the same shit movie 3 times in a row.
Yeah, that's true.
This is just one time, people.
True.
One time.
True, yeah.
Don't watch The Last Duel. Save yourself 3 hours.
Yeah, and hey, listen. I just want to thank you, the fans, too. Because at some level, I don't think they reached out to us because of our popularity necessarily, but there must have been something. Like, even if we're just on some fucking email list.
We hit a point in the algorithm we're showing up for them, and obviously that wouldn't happen if we didn't have people like listening, writing
greatest
reviews,
supporting
for
Patreons.
The greatest
Yeah.
Patreons.
You guys are our sponsors, the Patreons, by the way. You're all we have. So
Yeah.
So double your sponsorship.
yeah.
My family does not listen. You guys are the listening family we have.
Pappy's
You're my
mom's
only
about
fan,
it.
yeah.
Pappy's
She's a
mom and Brett's
Patreon,
brother. Yeah.
I don't have a job, so I need Patreon money. So
Amen, brother. We have a trivia for us, though, Josh? And
trivia, then I got to go.
Yeah.
I do have a trivia, and Brett, you're gonna play in an interesting way, actually, because it's only a trivia between Stevie and Pappy, because I have a gift for the winner.
Oh, Josh comes
Is it a
with...
softball plaque?
Did Notre Dame tickets?
No,
I
but
already have those.
But it is an amazing gift, and it's from a Patreon. And it's something you couldn't even expect. It's the perfect holiday Christmas gift for the
Gonna
winner.
win.
I'm excited.
Okay. I want you guys to do rock, paper, scissors in front of me to see who...
On shoot?
Shoot.
To see order.
Okay.
Okay, so, Pappy...
With scissors,
It's
Stevie threw paper.
It's a...
Why did I throw paper?
It's the closest to.
Okay.
Do you want to go first or second? You want.
Second.
Pappy threw
Confidently
scissors.
second.
Stevie threw
Paper.
Since Stevie has to go first with the disadvantage, he gets Brett's help in talking through this answer.
Okay.
I wanted Brett.
Corey Feldman started his career acting in a McDonald's commercial at the age of X. He just shot a movie, and he's now at the age of X. How long has he been in the entertainment business? And I know that he said the answer, but based on my research earlier, he's a little off. So, there might be like months or something. Basically, like, you think he said it, he's close to it, but what is the actual answer according to Google? Brett, Stevie, you want to figure out this first part?
Okay, so he was born in 1971. His first movie was 1979. I got to think
Yeah, but he was
commercial.
also like in Mork and Mindy, and
right. I think he was. I think, like I say, I think it was before that.
yeah.
He started his
He's probably
acting
6
commercial, or his commercial.
Four?
It was a commercial for McDonald's at the
Right.
age of X. I don't want to tell you that age because that would
Right.
give it away.
I'm guessing he was like 4 or 5.
I thought he
So
was.
say-
I thought he was 3.
Okay,
So-
so let's go 74 to 50 years.
Yeah, but Josh says he's a little off. Because
But he's got to only be like a year off, right?
I mean, a year off, so maybe he was 4.
He looked so healthy. I just want to emphasize that. Like every time I've seen pictures of him, he looks a little weird. He looked healthy on the Zoom
He
call.
looked extremely healthy.
He looked good.
So you want to go 51 then?
Because I think he talked in that McDonald's commercial. I'll say.
There's only one number on the time.
Yeah, let's go with 51.
49.
I'll zoom in so I can see the answer on your glasses. You looking at a bar graph?
No. So, according to my calculations, this is how I want to do this. I thought I might be able to trick you guys a little bit. Actually, to be truthful, when I chat GPT'd the answer, it gave me the wrong answer earlier.
Oh.
So now that the answer is 50 years, like he said, really it's a matter of semantics. How many months? Is it 50.5 and a half? Or is it under 50.5 so that you would round it to 49 or 51? Who will be the winner of this present? According to my calculations.
He's like a mentat. His eyes are rolled back in his head. He's doing math.
Since he was born in July of 71, that's 7 months in that part of the month.
Damn it!
I'm going to give him the 51 answer.
Let's go.
Stevie, this
I
is the second
never
time
get
you've won the in-person.
I love the in-person trophies.
So just slightly closer to 51 years than 49 years. Corey Feldman, if you're listening to this, you're right on the money with knowing your own career. How long
Go
you've been in the
figure.
entertainment business. Chat GPT was off. I had to pivot there. But Stevie, this is from a Patreon, and
Can I see?
I hope that
Yeah,
you
turn Brett around.
think this is as cool as I do.
It says Merry Christmas. Really, a Patreon sent this?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
We got a
Really?
card.
unrequested? They sent this?
What
the
the
Meg
fuck?
The Meg panties?
Oh, dude, they're spoiler socks.
Spoiler dress socks.
They're so cool.
They're so cool. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Sharp.
So they're black socks with little Spoilers cereal bowls all over them.
All over them.
Stevie, you lucky duck.
Maybe we'll post them to the gram.
Cool.
But
Some ducks get all the luck.
don't like socks and like stockings and like slippers. Doesn't that feel really Christmassy to you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Things that keep
festive.
your feet warm by the fire.
Gorgeous.
Which Patreon sent this?
Who knows what Patreon sent us? Well, all of the Patreons together. We are Patreon.
There we go.
All right. That was good. That's a good gift.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and close
That's
it out
amazing.
while Stevie admires his victory
So cool.
again. Someday I'll get a special prize. But I just want to say again, of course, thanks to Buffalo 8 who contacted us and facilitated this. Thanks to Brett, who's being all silly on the Zoom call.
With Grant.
Yeah.
with the like Hawaiian
Yeah.
background, like an island in the background.
Thanks to Corey Feldman. I'm sure you're not listening, but just thanks for being super cool and coming on our pod. But most of all, to you, the listeners, you made this possible. There is no spoilers without you. There's no fucking Corey Feldman interview without you, the listeners, you, the Patreon. So you keep us going. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. One of the coolest things we've done on this podcast. With that said, we already tossed it to Spoilerman. So all that's left to say was, that was spoilers. Should I hit stop on
Recording
here?
stopped.
He did kind of throw out some inspiring words, though.
I'm gonna end this meeting. Actually, we can invite him to a new meeting.
Yeah.
Trust me. It doesn't convert the MP3 and MP4.
What's that?
Did no one get a picture? Oh, did we not?
We
get
recorded the whole thing.
Okay, good. We have to take a screenshot of that. That's
Who told you to take a picture?
no. I just saw Brett posted a picture. And I thought, great idea. And then it wasn't that, and I was like, oh, damn it. Do we need to just get out of your hair at any time?
No.
Okay. I'd rather just get this done and then be done for the night. And
Yep.
Done with this.
No,
movie
that
forever.
went like so much. I wanted to talk to him, but we only had such a finite amount of time. It's like,
Yeah. I mean, I liked your question. I think I like that you didn't say what was one you thought would be big and didn't, and you took it there anyway. Like that was, I saw you like edit that in real time in your head, and it worked out perfectly. Because then he's like,
I know people.
yeah, you can't just be like, hey, what did you think would be good and sucked?
And I didn't ask him which one either.
Yeah.
He just said I had a couple of those.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave that one be.
You tell us whatever you want to tell us, bud.
And he even brought Tales from the Crypt, and I was like, I like that movie.
Hey.
Hey, are you ready to start?
There you go. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm just going to do a quick little intro, then we'll get right into it. Really appreciate you being here, man. It's awesome.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So here we go.
I'll count you down.
Yep.
Okay. And in 3, 2, 1.
That was Spoilers.